professional artist and do something like this, where like I use spray paint as far as
people don't know that art either.
Yeah,
they let it alone.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they know it's art.
Right.
And we're in Maryland, so I don't know if they have the same thing, but right along the railroad tracks, some of it's gorgeous and other is just graffiti.
Right, and it's like those are all free spaces because really nothing is going to go on there. So that's why these kids use those, take the risk and put the stuff on there. Because the whole history, I don't know if you know that much about the history of graffiti.
Well, I know ancient Rome had it.
Right, exactly. So basically to me, graffiti is like the Mount Rushmore. It's like somebody saw the mountain and carved like faces out of it. It's just something to see now. So what happened was, graffiti is the art of letters, so you lose the letter without losing the base of the letter. So you can take like the letter A looks like a triangle, so now you start doing things like this with it. So all of a sudden the letter A becomes this thing with arrows and it becomes a tree, and so on. So what kids used to do back in New York, where it really officially started, there are levels of graffiti. So you have the tag, that's like the one where you see like a marker and somebody writes their name. And you have something called a throw-up, very quick, where it's just a very solid, it has a solid and then the filling space. They have what they call a burner, which is something more like, more elaborate, the ones you see on the subway. So, and all those three you can see next time when you go on a subway, you see the throw up, it's like just a filling space outline. So it looks something like this. You have like this outline, then you have the ones that are more intricate and elaborate. So what happened is the kids back in New York in the 70s, early 70s, started putting their names on the trains. So the trains would go from borough to borough. And so let's say I put your name on a train going to your borough, and I'll tell you, like I sent you a message on the look at the A train. So you see the A train come by, I'm like, hi, something like that. Or I write my name. So you'll do the same thing to the train coming back my way. So it became this hidden language. Yeah, so people started putting their names and things like that and built the art of the letter more. And so eventually, when the corporations started noticing how effective it was, they cut the graffiti off at that time and made it illegal and started putting their ads on it because it was an effective way to advertise. You think about it, like if this train or bus is going through the city with somebody's name on it, they say, why not our name? So that's how the whole concept changed.
They could have at least hired the kids that were dead.
Exactly. That was what people suggested then. Like, they could pay them to advertise because it'll be the same thing if this kid wrote Storm and they write, let's say it's a McDonald's ad, and they put a McDonald's ad by Storm, then everybody will start looking at it like, cool, and then the other kids will then be employed, and then they won't really think of defacing anymore. They will start crafting more ways, which is what they're doing now. A lot of
Except a lot of them are looking over their shoulders. But chasing away.
But the guys that were doing it from then are now, they own their own companies, design companies, which is exactly what they're doing now, clothing lines and things like that. They have their own programs that they're teaching kids how to now take it into a more business way of doing it, like sending proposals out, things like that. So that's just the history of graffiti, and people mistaking graffiti for the spray paint. The spray paint is a medium. So anytime someone is using spray paint, it's not graffiti. Graffiti is the art of the letter. Like something like that is not graffiti. But it has aesthetics of graffiti with the arrows, the bubbles, which are aesthetics of graffiti. But it's more like a portrait.
And what is this gentleman doing?
He's